Urban Nights Update is next. Coming up, it's started. Legal action against members of President Trump's campaign staff has begun.
A famous actor now being criticized for the way he handled sexual assault allegations.
We'll have an inside look at a project that's teaching folks new job skills and giving them access to healthy food.
And the story of the Day of the Dead. All that and more coming up on your Urban Nights Update. Hi, thanks for joining us here at Urban Nights Update. Kendall Brown is sitting in with me. I'm Brianna Keys, and here are our top stories. President Trump's former 2016 campaign chairman, Paul Manafort, and Rick Gates Manafort, former business associate, have been indicted by the federal grand jury. It's part of the investigation into Russia's possible meddling in the U.S. election last year. Manafort and Gates pleaded not guilty in court on Monday afternoon. The 31-page indictment against them contains 12 counts, including conspiracy to laundering money and conspiracy against the U.S. The big question is whether this is just in a series of legal actions as a result of the special prosecutor Robert Mueller's investigation.
President Trump's former foreign policy advisor, George Papadopoulos, has pleaded guilty to fabricating a statement to the FBI about his interaction with the foreign officials of the Russian government. Papadopoulos admits he colluded with the Russian government to get information that was used against Hillary Clinton in the 2016 presidential campaign. Other campaign officials involved in Trump's campaign were also aware of Papadopoulos' communication with Russian officials.
President Trump's approval rating is the lowest it's ever been. Only 38% of voters approve of Trump's presidency, according to the NBC and Wall Street Journal poll. This is a 5% drop in approval since September. Recent actions by Trump have drawn declining approval ratings from white and independent voters, each according to pollster Fred Yang, a sign that Trump's base could slowly be fraying.
The U.S. Navy is in the midst of an investigation of the death of Green Beret Staff Sergeant Logan Melgar's death in the capital of Mali, Bamako. Unnamed military officials said his death was caused by being strangled. The defense officials are trying to determine whether the staff sergeant was strangled by fellow Navy SEAL commandos. This homicide is focused on two members of the Navy SEALs Team 6 as potential suspects. Spokesman from the U.S. Special Operations has declined to comment. Donald Trump's attempt to change transgender military enlistment policy has been partly blocked by a U.S. District Court judge. The ban on funds for gender reassignment surgery, however, was not blocked. Trump has gotten half of what he has set out for in this matter, but as he stated on his Twitter account, he wants all transgender individuals precluded from participating in military in any capacity. There have been no comments made by Trump yet in regards to this ruling.
Hollywood actor Kevin Spacey is getting a lot of backlash after an apology to actor Anthony Rapp. Rapp accused Spacey of making a sexual advance towards him when he was just 14. Spacey stated that "I'm horrified to hear of his story. I honestly do not remember the encounter, but if I did behave then as he describes, I owe him the sincerest apology." Spacey also shared that he is deciding to live his life as a gay man in his apology to Rapp. Critics say that Spacey is using the public announcement of his sexual orientation to deflect any consequences of his alleged sexual assault. New sexual assault allegations against producer Harvey Weinstein continue to surface with reports as far back as the 1970s. 3 weeks after the first report, women from different continents, fields, and time periods have come forward. More than 40 years later, Hope D'Amour says, "This has haunted me my entire life," after alleged rape by Weinstein when he was a young concert promoter in Buffalo. Weinstein is under further investigation by the New York Police Department.
The rebuilding and recovery phase is underway in the North Bay. The Sonoma County fires destroyed nearly 9,000 structures and claimed the lives of 42 people. The fires, which sparked October 8th, caused a mass evacuation of 100,000 people. Officials estimate the cleanup efforts will last into 2018 and estimate the losses to be more than $1 billion. While the majority of the community is banding together to contribute to rebuilding efforts, others are taking advantage of the crisis. Two out of 2 out-of-town individuals are currently being held at Sonoma County Jail on suspicion of 7 felonies, including looting, conspiracy, and vehicle theft. Police are arrested the pair after they were spotted loading stolen goods into a pickup truck. Police caught up with them after a high-speed chase. The suspects are from the Monterey area.
Buying fresh fruits and vegetables is a major problem that low-income families are facing every day. Planting Justice is a new organization that is helping to bring proper nutrition to the Bay Area families.
The Planting Justice Nursery is located in the poorest neighborhood in East Oakland. They are working to help empower people in communities like this around the Bay Area with skills and resources to cultivate their food independence and economic justice. Patrick Dunnigan has been with the organization for 5 years.
So that's really just our main mission. It's grow food, grow jobs, grow community, and all bolstering those 3 concepts is the idea of empowering folks not only with the garden, but the knowledge of why, how to do it, why we should do it, and how to keep doing it.
Here at 105th Street in Oakland, California, this neighborhood is known as a food desert, meaning that there are only liquor stores available to these civilians and no grocery stores whatsoever. That means no healthy fruits or vegetables. Planting Justice, located on 105th Street right here, is working to address that problem.
Fred Clay, the operations director at Planting Justice, understands how this issue adversely affects people in food desert neighborhoods.
We understand that these communities, these impoverished communities, are experiencing disproportionate numbers of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, high blood pressure. At the same time, it's truly being malnutrition.
Solving this unhealthy problem is their goal.
So one of the things that this community can do to address those disparities in access to food is grow their own. Not only is it good for the body, it's good for the environment. This is truly a win-win situation.
You can hire the landscaping team, take educational workshops or classes on food justice. You can even volunteer to work on a community garden project. These are just some of the ways Planting Justice is working to vanquish the food desert problem. In Oakland, I'm Ben Clegg for Urban Nights Update.
Since Planting Justice began, the goal to give back to the community has always been kept in mind. They have grown from 8 to 40 full-time employees, hiring from the same community they want to benefit. Think twice before dressing as a Sharpie this Halloween on Friday in Pleasant Hill. A Staples store customer was offended by one of the employees who had her face covered in black paint, claiming she was dressed up as a Sharpie. The customer confronted another employee and even the manager, saying that the costume was offensive to African Americans. The employee removed the costume and no longer works at the location.
What better way to spend Halloween weekend with the family at a great American theme park? Well, that wasn't the case for many, with over 100 teens victimizing parkgoers late Saturday night. Santa Clara police claimed that there were incidents that required the police, but it is still unsure what caused the mayhem. Many visitors fled the scene in fear, as parkgoers were robbed, assaulted, and harassed.
Mexican heritage is rich in history and traditions, the most popular being Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead. Marciano Reichel has the story in San Jose.
Dia de los Muertos, or Day of the Dead, is a celebrated tradition in Mexico that celebrates our loved ones that have gone before us. This is one of Mexico's traditional holidays when the living commune with the dead. But not in the sadness, but in happiness, talking about their ancestors before them. I talked with Nicole from Catholic Cemetery on the importance of celebrating Dia de los Muertos.
So Dia de los Muertos connects to All Souls Day, which is November 2nd, and it's a traditional Mexican holiday where the living celebrate with their deceased loved ones at the cemeteries, and they create altars and just kind of remember and have fun in a positive way versus a sorrowful way.
I talked with Nyutapjili, the importance of teaching the younger generation about their ancestry and about the tradition of dancing.
It's important to teach the future generations in order to keep the traditions alive. The children are our future, you know. For example, there's a lot of young students in our group now, high school students, that we've seen them even before they were joining high school. Now, you know, so they're some of our best dancers. You know, the children really absorb the culture.
In San Jose, I'm Marciano Reichel for this Urban Nights Update.
If you didn't attend any of the Day of the Dead events this year, make sure to check one out next year.
With Halloween coming up, you can be sure to burn off candy calories easily with Zumba. Taj has more on the story.
Just here on 9th Avenue and Lincoln Way here in San Francisco, you can find where one of many Zumba classes are being held by the Zumba in the Parks group. They have over 40 classes held at various parks all around San Francisco. For those of you guys who do not know, Zumba is a Latin-inspired, cardio-burning, easy-to-learn dance. And for the Zumba in the Parks group, most events they have anywhere from 50 to 100 people. And for their larger events, they have well over 150 people to 200. I got a chance to sit down with Gina Sorelli, one of the head coordinators of Zumba in the Park.
I've been with Zumba Rec and Park for over 4 years. This is now going on my 5th year. I've completed 4 years total. I actually started as an instructor and then took over the full program a year ago. It used to be led by someone named Jamie Hopper, who is absolutely amazing.
I'm here at the San Francisco County Fair building where Zumba classes are being taught. So make sure you put your costume on as we have our Halloween special Zumba class taught free. Make sure you get down here. We're all 5 instructors are here to teach you a different dance.
We have maintained this amazing program. When I came on, I started as one of 8 instructors. Now I'm the leader of almost 30 instructors, and there's over 40 classes a week, and we serve about 1,000 people plus per week. So we have 4 big parties a year. 3 of them are daytime parties, and we do them in the beginning of the year, a spring party, a summer party, and then we end the year with a Halloween party. The Halloween party is usually our evening party. It's a thing where we get all of our instructors to get together, as many that are possible, to join us, and they just show them their stuff, they promote their classes, they reach out to the community. Then they come, rain or shine, we're always here.
In San Francisco, I'm Taj Dawson for your Urban Nights Update.
For those of you who missed the last Zumba party of the year, don't worry. There are weekly Zumba classes held at most local recreational centers.
The Take a Knee protest continues. Most of the Houston Texan players knelt together during the national anthem on Sunday in protest against controversial remarks made by team owner Bob McNair. This comes after he met with the team on Saturday to apologize for his inappropriate comment, "We can't have the inmates running the prison," during a meeting with the NFL owners talking about players kneeling during the anthem. Now, let's take it to Luke Lacey with the latest on AAU sports.
Welcome to this week's edition of Academy of Art University Sports. Let's play ball. This was an exciting weekend if you're an Urban Knights sports fan. 4 teams in action on Saturday, all on the road. Both Art U soccer teams playing Southern California rivals, California Baptist University. The tennis team continuing the ITA Cup, and the volleyball team closing out a busy day with a game against Pac West rival in a rematch at Dominican. The Lady Knights had a hard time defending an offensive barrage from the first-place Cal Baptist Lancers. They got behind early and couldn't put enough together to get shots on goal, overcome their 5-0 deficit. Despite allowing 5 goals, Morgan Wers still put up a strong defensive performance as she managed to get 7 saves. Freshman midfielder Sydney Cook and senior midfielders Kendall Bozart and Abigail Chavez led Academy of Arts offense, each taking 1 shot on goal. Men's soccer played the 4th-ranked Lancers, and they're undefeated. In the first half, totaling only 3 less shots than them, Junior midfielder Johnny Navarro had the best opportunity for the Knights in the very first minute of the game, but he missed the goal wide left. Freshman goalkeeper Chris Jensen contributed to the close first half with 3 crucial saves. However, the Lancers got off to a fast start in the second half, scoring a goal to increase their lead to 2-0 in the 49th minute. They then went on to score another in the 79th minute to make it 3-0, and that would be the final score. Sophomore Zach Kaiser and junior forward Alexander Tombach each had shots on goal that were denied. The Knights now return home for their final homestand of the year to square off against Biola. Sophomore tennis duo twins Clara and Alma Feldenthorpe entered the ITA Oracle Cup as the #1 seed in the nation for the second year in a row. They had momentum on their side after a thrilling victory in the last match. The duo took on a pair from Indianapolis and got off to a bad start, falling down 9-1 in the first set. They battled back for 6 straight points, but still fell 10-0. This put them in a bracket to battle for 5th place against the 2-seed duo from Midwestern State. They couldn't pull off a win in this matchup, but they battled hard enough to earn the tiebreaker, in which they fell 10-6. The now ranked 6 twins return home to San Francisco to display their dominance yet again for the last fall tune-up. Women's volleyball matched up against a solid Dominican squad. They got off to a slow start in the first set, down 15-6. Freshman outside hitter Kamaya Johnson sparked a 6-1 run to bring them back in it with her 3rd block of the year and back-to-back kills. They ended up falling 25-20. The second set was a close battle throughout. Dominican pulled away at the end to win 25-19 and go up 2-0 on the day. With their backs against the wall in the 3rd set, Art U started off down 15-6. Senior middle blocker Margaret Winkler helped surge an 8-1 run for the Knights with a big kill to make it a game, but it didn't last. They fell 25-17 and lost 3-0 on the day. The Knights return home to play 4 of their final 5 conference matches. That's all the Art U Knights news I got for you guys this time. Be sure to tune back in next time.
A YouTube video has cost one dad his job. Last week, a 16-year-old YouTube vlogger showed off her dad's new iPhone X. However, the video landing on YouTube's list of top trending videos was removed. Her dad, Ken Bauer, was fired because he violated a company policy by allowing his daughter to advertise the product. Even though Apple's new iPhone X is already available to pre-order, it's still possible that the phone in the video was pre-produced and Apple doesn't want its staff to show off unreleased products in unauthorized ways.
It's the end of the year, meaning all companies are out to prove their product. Marciano Reichel is our tech insider.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Insider, where I talk about the latest gadgets in video games. Were you one of the lucky 2 million people to snag and reserve the new iPhone X? If so, you are in for a treat. The new iPhone is the next generation of smartphones. Apple wanted to make the 10-year anniversary of the first phone coming out by releasing the iPhone X.
On the floor. Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me in the lounge. Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me in the club. Yeah. Yo, you wanna meet me downtown. Okay.
The next generation of the Xbox One is now out like the iPhone X. The Xbox One is not the 10th anniversary Xbox. If you're an Xbox One or later version owner, the newest Xbox One might not be the one for you. It is meant for the hardcore gamers that setup can withstand the 4K output. If you are one of them to buy one, you will be gifted with the most powerful gaming console to date. If you're a gamer that is on the move, you should check the Nintendo Switch. It is really just a portable console that can put in your pocket and be ready in a blink of an eye. While you can hold it like a regular Nintendo DS, you can take the controllers off and pop the stand up in the back and make it a stand-up screen. It's that time of year again, gamers. During late October and November, the newest games are coming out just before the holiday season. The biggest game this year is Call of Duty franchise. The setting based during World War II, and it's going to be one good one. The ever so popular Zombies game mode is getting revamped, and this will be coming out early November. The Star Wars Battlefront franchise coming out mid-November is going to be a great end of the year for the 2017 gamers. Or for the gamers that are still interested in older games, Tom Clancy Rainbow Six Siege is still out in full force. After being released just over 2 years ago, that's a big deal in a console game, as games usually die out after a year or so.
So guys, here's some brand new Star Wars Battlefront 2 single.
The march of progress. I have built more than just a new kind of soldier.
For those citygoers who don't want to own a car and have to ride a bike around, have you ever thought of an electric longboard? At first glance, when you hear the price, you may cringe, but in the long run, it can be the best idea ever. The ever so popular Boosted Board brand can be your local choice, as you're being eco-friendly and also helping a Bay Area company out. As based out of San Bruno and is growing in each year. Depending on what level of board you are getting, the range is in price from $999 to up to $1,400. Everybody nowadays are now trying to find cheap and durable tech gadgets to have at a moment's notice. Here are the top gadgets for the month of October. The Anchor Sound Core 2 is easy to use and you can pick up at Amazon for $40. For those college students that are always sitting on their bed with their laptop and you are feeling like your laptop is heating up, you should look into the Laptop Cooler by Habit, which is $17 on Amazon. Then finally, for those new iPhone owners, Rav Power has their new wireless charger ready to be used and help cut the charging time in half for $50 on Amazon. That's the latest for this week's Tech Insider.
The Bay Area has many upcoming different aspiring artists and musicians. Taylor Lehman had the chance to interview a member of a local band to gain some insight into the music scene.
Thank you. Today I'm interviewing George Lara, a Bay Area musician. Hi, how are you doing today?
Very tired. How are you?
Same. So tell me about your band.
You Lose kind of started out as like a joke. It was kind of like something we always talked about, but nothing we ever took as serious. Well, half of us wanted to, but the other half didn't. And finally, everyone got sick of playing the same type of stuff up here, and they were like, all right, let's give this a try. And we honestly have just been going full steam ahead since then.
So how did you come up with the name You Lose?
It's the lyrics to one of my favorite band songs. So to me, that phrase "you lose" is always stuck to my head. It's simple and yet it's still an aggressive name. So I always felt like it would be cool to use as a band name.
Okay, and what instrument do you play in You Lose?
I play bass in You Lose.
And how long have you been playing bass?
Since I was 11 years old.
Okay, so is this something you knew that you always wanted to do?
Yeah, I grew up real fat, and so girls didn't like fat kids when you were little, so I had to pick up something that made people oh wow, look at this guy, I was still fat and ugly, but at least I could shred, so at least got people's attention somehow.
Okay, so your band recently got on iTunes and Spotify. What were the steps that you guys took to get there?
We did it all on our own. We've had a few record offers and things like that, but with the hardcore scene, stuff like that, if you get a record deal with a no-name record label, they basically capitalize off your band, so they're the ones making all the money. So we took a little longer to get on because we did everything ourselves. Okay. So we're on multiple, I think we're on 15 platforms, so it's not just Spotify and iTunes. We have other ones in other countries, especially in Germany, in Japan, and in Southeast Asia. There's all these other platforms, but I guess I didn't even know this, but we're blowing up in Southeast Asia.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So what would you say the biggest struggle is of being in your band?
Probably the biggest struggle would be that all of us have full-time jobs or go to school. None of us are if we were rich, we would be we'd put all our money and time into touring and things like that. But all of us have 9 to 5, so we have to be very precise with what we do with our time and everything.
Okay. So if you were to tour anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Tokyo, Japan, for sure, because they have the most violent scene for being an overseas place, and they like eat up American culture and music. So any American band to go there is already like basically worshipped. So I feel like if we were to go there with the type of music we played, they would eat it up, like, for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Thanks, Taylor and George. For more on the entertainment scene, let's join Ben Clegg.
It's Halloween week and no show will set that spooky mood quite like the hit TV show Stranger Things. It returns to Netflix for its second season after the first received critical acclaim and millions of viewers. Show creators Matt and Ross Duffer want to take a darker approach to season 2, expanding on the scary and supernatural elements of the story. From the looks of the season 2 trailer, they've certainly followed through.
Hey guys, do you see the... Will! Are you okay?
Continuing with the thriller genre, The Killing of a Sacred Deer is coming to the silver screen this weekend. Dr. Stephen Murphy is played by Colin Farrell, a brilliant surgeon living in total normalcy with his wife, played by Nicole Kidman, and 2 children. But it is all uprooted when a mysterious boy takes an unsettling interest in the Murphy family.
So the human race, Where did you two go? When the lights started out, they don't know what they heard. Strike the match, playing loud, giving love to the world.
How did his father die?
A
A surgeon never kills a patient. An anesthesiologist can kill a patient, but a surgeon never can.
Maybe you're not a fan of the scary stuff. Maybe you want to go have a family outing with the kids. Well, Pokemon the movie I Choose You is just what the doctor ordered. I Choose You depicts the culmination of the relationship between Pokemon trainer Ash Ketchum and Pikachu. We follow Ash and Pikachu as they go on an expedition to find a legendary Pokemon. If you want to catch this one, you gotta act fast though. The movie is in theaters November 5th and 6th only. If you need any more convincing, you also receive a collectible Pikachu trading card. Talk about a 2-for-1 deal. If you want to get out and about, then check out the SoFi Golden Gate Half Marathon. The 5K and half marathon runs take place at 7 a.m. this Sunday in Golden Gate Park. There is a wine festival after to celebrate all those calories you just burned. Registration for all events is open right now. You can register at motiverunning.com. Spots are limited, so act fast.
Thanks very much, Ben. That wraps up this edition of Urban Nights Update. I'm Kendall Brown.
And I'm Brianna Keys. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. See you next time.